the guards on the Dwarka were said that who are you? Why you are? Who are you? So Krishna he said that I am the friend of Krishna. So they didn't believe that the friend of Krishna would be like this. So then they told to Krishna that your friend has came. So then the Sudama, he is saying my name is Sudama. So then the Krishna ran to meet him, and then he hugged him.
Yes.
He did not hug like a normal people. He only hugged, I think, Rukmani ji, and I think he hugged the Rukmani ji. So he hugged Sudama too, and then he cleaned the feet of Sudama, and as in the left picture, it's that Krishna is cleaning the Sudama's feet, and Rukmani ji by side she is giving more water for the to put on the feet of Sudama. So
Okay, Tarunji, hold on. Yes, very good explanation, very detailed, very nice. So Ayana said she wants to add a point.
Yeah, so when Sudama was meeting trying to meet Krishna, none of the guards were willing to tell Krishna. Only one of them said, "Oh, let's just tell Krishna." And then when he heard it, he just went running. So I was just wanting to clarify, it was just one guard who did it.
Yeah, and Krishna, as soon as he heard his childhood friend has come, he stopped doing whatever he was doing and ran to meet him. Okay, continue. Anybody else wants to add any other points?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Krishna not only hugs Rukmini but also his brother.
Oh, you're talking about Lord Balram? Lord Balram is not mentioned in this pastime, but probably yes. Very good. Okay, so what do we saw that, and then what is in this picture?
Prabhuji, in this picture.
Hold on, Tarunji. One sec, because you explained so well. Now let's give Ashmita ji a chance. She was raising her hand.
In that picture, Krishna is eager about what Sudama, I think that's what his name is.
Yes, Sudama.
What Sudama has brought. So he has brought some grain of rice, but then he didn't tell Krishna. He was hiding it from Krishna. So Krishna was demanding Sudama for it, but he still didn't give it. Finally, Sudama gave up and gave it to Krishna, and he ate some parts of the rice, but then he was about to eat all of the rice whenever
Rukmini,
his wife, told him not to eat it. Rukmini.
Yes.
So Krishna understood why, and he stopped eating it. And then after that, Sudama said, "I need to go back home for my children and my wife." So he went back home, and he was so surprised about what he has seen. And instead of a small house, he has seen a big palace, and he understood that Krishna has gave it for him because he could take care of Krishna's wealth so clearly or good.
Okay, very nice, Ashmita ji.
Prabhuji, I think Rukmani ji stopped Krishna because as he was eating.
Ate
So yes, as he was eating more and more, so
Yes.
so the wealth of this Sudama's house, he became very royal. So Rukmaniji stopped Krishna because that if you will give him more money, so then he will be a little, he will be very proud that I have so much things. So that's why I think Rukmaniji stopped him.
Yeah, Ayana wants to add a point. Very nice, both Ashmita ji and Tarun ji. Yes,
So
Ayana.
Rukmini, I don't know if Tarunji told this already, but Rukmini ji stopped Krishna from eating because if he had eaten all the rice, Sudama, like every time he eats the flattened rice, poha, Sudama would become more and more rich. So Rukmini ji stopped Krishna from eating too much because Sudama would be richer. Sudama would be richer than Krishna himself.
Okay.
You said that last class.
Yes. So Krishna can make anything happen, but anytime he's the richest, but he can act as a poor person sometimes. So yes, very good point. Anyway, so Sudama came back. He saw his golden palace. His wife and kids were sleeping. Next day when they woke up, they had so many servants and they were in a palace. They had beautiful clothes, and Sudama here, coming with all his tattered clothes, is seeing, oh, what happened to my house and what happened to my wife? She is looking like a goddess now with all the decorations and all that. So that's what Krishna can give anybody who is a devotee of Krishna, if he thinks that that's going to help him to become a better person and better devotee. Okay, and Sudama didn't use all the money for his own enjoyment. He used it to serve Krishna. So that's very important. If we use all our riches to buy more and more to just make ourselves happy, we'll never get happiness. We'll always want more and more. But if we use the money to serve devotees and Krishna, we'll become happier and happier. Okay, so that's the story of Sudama. Then we discuss another story. Anybody remembers this one? So this was a big, there was a festival that everybody celebrates on the solar eclipse, right? Everybody gets into the water in Kurukshetra. So there were little ponds created by Lord Parashuram after he was a great warrior and he killed all the bad kings, 21 generations of bad kings, and then since he removed all of them, he still wanted to atone for killing these kings. Though they were bad, he wanted to just purify himself, so he built all these little ponds. And that is the same place where everybody used to come during the Dwapara Yuga also to pray during the solar eclipse. So that's what you see here on the left picture. And then since everybody came there, the Vrajavasis, the Vrindavan Vasis, who hasn't seen Krishna since he left Vrindavan as a kid, they knew that Krishna is coming there, so they all came. And then this is where Krishna is meeting the gopis in Kurukshetra. And all of them are so happy to see Krishna.
Wait, so Krishna came and then the gopis met him?
Yeah. So everybody was happy to see. Even the Pandavas and everybody came to Kurukshetra. So this was before the war between Kauravas and Pandavas. They were having this festival or a pilgrimage in Kurukshetra. Okay, so that's where we stopped. So let's start today's class. So it's continuing from where everybody was meeting in Kurukshetra. So there were different groups forming, and everybody were actually discussing about Krishna because he is the Supreme Lord. And just imagine, like in our lives, if Krishna is present as one of our friends or a relative, and everybody is meeting, so everybody will just talk about God, right? So they're all doing that. And what's happening here is all the wives, all the ladies were together in a group. And nowadays, when ladies get together, they sometimes they just they gossip about other people, how bad they are and all that. But in this assembly, all the ladies were discussing about God. So what they were discussing, Draupadi was asking the wives of Krishna. All the 16,108 wives of Krishna had come for this festival. So they were all sitting, girls were sitting together, and they were asking. And Draupadi was asking these wives. They were the 8 principal wives of Krishna, right? So Draupadi was asking each one of them, how did you get married to Krishna? Why did Krishna marry you? And each one was telling the story. We had discussed that in previous class. If you remember, we discussed how Rukmini Devi was really wanting, never seen Krishna, but she has heard about Krishna from Narada Muni, and she had already said if ever she wants to marry someone, that will only be Krishna. And she sent a letter to Krishna through a Brahmin, and Krishna came and rescued her just before her marriage, before she got married to Shishupal. Yes, very good. And Rukmini ji said that story. And then there was the story of Jambavati, right? So how there was the Samantaka jewel. So Satyabhama told that story, how her father Satrajit was got a great jewel that produced a lot of gold every day, and Krishna said this should be kept by him, but then he didn't give it, and then he gave it to his brother Prasoon, who went to the forest, and that Prasoon was killed by a lion, and then the lion was killed by Jambavan, and the Samantaka jewel was with Jambavan, and Krishna had to find out where the jewel was. And when Krishna found Jambavan, and they fought for many days, and then Jambavan understood that this is none other than the Supreme Lord. Jambavan is a great devotee of Lord Ram, so this is Krishna himself, who came as Lord Ram in Treta Yuga. So he not only gave the jewel back, he also made Krishna marry his daughter Jambavati. And when they came back, and Krishna gave the jewel back to Satyajit, Satyajit said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Lord. I thought you took the jewel, but it was a wrong rumor that I spread. So I'm giving you this jewel and my very intelligent daughter Satyabhama." So we talked about the 3 wives. So all these, each wife is telling about the story of how they married. Then Kalindi or Yamuna told them how she married Krishna when Arjun and Krishna had gone into the forest. She was walking by the lake, by the river Yamuna, and she had taken penance to only marry Krishna. So Krishna married her. So then we discussed about the other wives also, right? So then there was a wife called Mitravinda, who was always wanting to marry Krishna, and then Krishna had to come to the Swayamvar and take her away because the other kings were not allowing. And then there was a lady called Satya or Nagnajiti, who wanted to marry Krishna. She told her story, how Krishna defeated the 7 bulls, and all the other kings who came, they couldn't defeat the bulls. So then that's how Krishna got married to Mitravinda, and then there was Lakshmana also. Lakshmana, one detail we didn't discuss when we discussed about the wives of Krishna, that Lakshmana said to Draupadi was, yeah, the same way Draupadi, there was a Swayamvar where Arjun had to shoot an arrow looking at the reflection. So a similar thing was set up for Lakshmana also. This is not Ram's brother Lakshmana. This is a girl Lakshmana who always wanted to marry Krishna, and her dad set up a Swayamvar to find a suitable match for her, and then Krishna was the only one who could shoot the arrow to the target. Even Arjuna tried it, but Arjuna couldn't hit the target in this. Yeah, so that detail we came to know when
which target did Arjuna didn't?
Sorry? Yes?
Which target Arjuna did not achieve? Please tell us.
So there was this target where there was a bird flying on top, and then you had to look at the reflection. Most of the kings, they couldn't even lift the bow, but Arjuna was able to lift the bow and try the string and then look at the reflection and shoot, but the bird was flying so fast it didn't hit the eye of the bird, which was the condition to marry Lakshmana. So what when Arjuna shot the arrow, it just hit the side of the body of the bird, but then Krishna came, and when he shot, it hit directly the eye. And this is all Krishna's pastimes to show that for his devotee he will be the winner, because his devotee really wanted to be his wife. And then there are 16,100 wives, right? The 8 wives told the story, and then the 16,100 wives, we can't have each of them tell the story because it's the same story, that Bhaumasura took all the beautiful princesses and put them in the prison, and then Krishna came and removed this bad asura and liberated all the 16,100. So it was narrated by one girl called Rohini. So Rohini is not the mother of Balramji, who we are talking about here. This is another one of the 16,100 girls who were in prison. One of them name was Rohini. So she was telling the story to on behalf of everybody else, how Krishna came and saved them from this bad asura, and since they couldn't go home, they took shelter of Krishna, and that's how Krishna got the 16,108 wives. Okay, so all these wonderful stories are being discussed here, and everybody's so happy to discuss about Krishna. And then the men were also having a group, and actually there was the great rishis had come. So there was Narada Rishi, Chavana Rishi, Devala, Ashita, Vishwamitra, all the great rishis, Gautama Rishi, Parashuram had come, Vashishta, yeah,
Wow.
Bhrigumuni, Pulatsya, Kalava, Kashyapa, Atri. I'm just reading. You don't have to remember all their names, okay? I'm just reading.
Parashuram was a form of Krishna only.
Yes. Parashuram is an expansion of Krishna only.
So one time there is Krishna there, and in the boys group also there is Krishna.
Yes, and Balramji is also
Prabhuji?
an incarnation of Krishna. So actually 3 expansions. Yes.
Prabhuji, I think Parashuram is the 6th avatar of Lord Vishnu.
Yes. We can look at it in many ways. So there are many incarnations of the Lord. This is the...
But Vishnu is Krishna only.
Yes. That's one. That's the most important understanding, that all are Vishnu Tattva,
Prabhuji?
all Krishna. Yeah.
Prabhuji, my friend has a doubt. He is asking whether Agastya Muni was also there.
Okay. So Agastya Muni, yes, Agastya Rishi was there. Angira Rishi, Agastya, 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumar. Very good question. Yes, then Yajnavalkya and Vamadeva. So there were all these good, great rishis. And as you remember, Balramji had done a pilgrimage before, and he visited Agastya Rishi. He visited Parashuram. We discussed about all that, right? In Mahendra Mountain, he went and saw all of them. So all of them had come. So then Krishna, looking at all of them, said, "Oh, you are great rishis and wonderful devotees, and I just want to make one very important point so that all of us can remember this. Like if we go for a pilgrimage, or if we go to the temple just for the sake of going to the temple and just pray to the deities, it is we are not getting a lot of benefits. If we also respect and worship the devotees of the Lord who are there, so just like these great sages like Agastya Rishi and Pulasya and Narada who have come, we have to really respect them. So Krishna is telling, we really respect you, and your presence is making us very, very spiritual. So Krishna is all giving us a lesson that we have to not only go to the temple and pray to the deities, but also respect all the devotees of the Lord first. Okay? Otherwise, he says it's just like just trying to go to temple to get some benefit. We are going, oh, give me good marks, give me good house. So that is not different from a material person like doing business. So Krishna says it's very important to respect the devotees of the Lord. And the sages were very happy to hear that the Supreme Lord is praising them. And then they said, "Oh Krishna, your words are so good. You're giving the whole essence of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are so fortunate to have the Supreme Lord in our midst giving us good instructions." And they actually described how Krishna is the Supreme Lord, how he is the original creator, and all the wonderful things they were discussing. And then after they glorified Krishna, Vasudeva is Krishna's father. He came and asked, how do we purify ourselves after all the bad things we might have done in this life or in previous lives? How do we purify ourselves? Then Narada Muni said, hey, your son is Krishna, Supreme God, and you're asking us? So he was just saying, it's just like a person living on the banks of the Ganges will go to other places to take bath, but if they just have to take bath in Ganga. So he was just a little saying that to respect Krishna. And he said, actual way to purify yourself is by worshipping Krishna and serving Krishna in devotion with bhakti. If you serve with love for Krishna, that is the best way to purify everything. So that's what we are all trying to do here. By I am trying to say this, what I have heard, and you are trying to listen, then both of us are benefited. And sometimes I am listening to you, so we are Shravanam and Kirtanam together is going on when we discuss about Krishna. And this will really purify us to get all our bad karma and all the things of the past to not affect us badly. And it'll clear all our negative bank balance, so to speak, and take us back home, back to Godhead. So then once that question was answered, then Vasudeva wanted to do a fire sacrifice. So that's what we see here in the picture. He was worshipping the Lord to make Lord Vishnu happy, and everybody is happy. And he had to dress up in deer skin, Vasudeva. And
why?
Because he was doing the sacrifice, he has to be in very austere clothes. And so just like
but isn't killing a deer bad?
no, this is not actually killing a deer. this is like if they find a dead body of a deer in the forest that is dried up, and that skin is used as clothes. And then they also and they are only wearing that loin cloth kind of thing to sit down. But as Vasudeva has
Prabhuji, they'll
18
just
wives.
scrape off the skin of a deer, a dead deer. They'll just scrape off the skin.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's just to protect their private parts, and just using only what the nature is supplying, right? So it is not anything that like man-made or manipulated, right? So they're using everything from nature to do this sacrifice. So this was one of the needs, that he had to put in deer skin and not have any clothes, any tops, any luxurious clothes. He is wearing just as what Lord Ram wore when he went to the forest. So very, very austere clothes. But then he has 18 wives headed by Devaki. Okay, so all of them didn't. There was no requirement for them to wear any of that. So they were just wearing very opulent royal clothes. So they were all circling the fire with him and doing the wonderful sacrifice, and Vasudeva actually glorified all the wonderful sages, including Narada Muni, who came. And then he then when the sacrifice was over, everybody was so happy that they all worshipped the Lord Vishnu and Krishna very well. And they were, after we pray very well, we feel some satisfaction, right? So similarly they were feeling that. And one important point is, this is Dwapara Yuga, so they can use these fire sacrifices and all to worship the Lord. But in Kali Yuga, like our time now, it is very difficult to follow all the rituals correctly to do a sacrifice. So the best yajna or sacrifice is Sankirtana yajna. So Prabhupada clearly says in the Krishna Book that we don't have to do all this fire sacrifice. All we can do is just what we were doing just before class, just doing kirtan and singing the names of the Lord, which is considered topmost. So we'll get the same benefit that Vasudeva got by doing this sacrifice. And then he turned to Nanda Maharaj, who took care of Krishna and Balram when they were kids, and were so nice to protect Krishna and Balram from all the from Kamsa's evil deeds. So he was praising Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Maharaj stayed in Kurukshetra with Vasudeva for 3 months there, where everybody was very happy with each other, discussing and all good things. And then after that, the Vrajavasis, including Nanda Maharaj, they went to Vrindavan, and then all the inhabitants of Dwaraka, including Vasudeva, Krishna, Balramji, Ugrasen, all of them, Samba, the 16,108 wives, Pradyumna, everybody went back to Dwaraka. So that's where this ends. And then now that they understood from the sages that Krishna and Balram are none other than the Supreme Lord, once they returned, Vasudeva was telling everybody in Dwaraka, these two men, Krishna and Balram, are none other than the Supreme Lord. They were establishing, everybody was praying to them, and earlier they were just thinking that they are just some extraordinary persons, but now they understood they are the Supreme Personality, Supreme God. So then while the worship was going on, everybody is really happy that they finally agreed, that everybody understood that Krishna is Lord from Vasudeva. Then Mother Devaki had a small wish. So it's not a small wish. Nobody else can actually fulfill that wish other than the Supreme Lord. So she came and she was thinking, my sons, when they went to Sandipani Muni's ashram, if you remember, we discussed about how Krishna and Balram went and got their son back, the Sandipani Muni's son who went into the water and never came back. So they went to Yamaloka and brought that son back, right? So Devaki was like, let me ask Krishna and Balram if they can return the 6 sons. 6 sons were killed by Kamsa. Because Kamsa was thinking the Akashvani or the celestial voice had said your 8th son will be the one who kills you, but he didn't want even one son. He didn't want. He wanted to make sure even none of the Devaki's son will kill him. So he used to throw the little babies as soon as they were born, right? So all the 6 sons were killed by Kamsa, and then the 7th son was Balram, who was transferred to Mother Rohini's womb from Devaki's womb, and Rohini went to Vrindavan and was kept in safety at that time, right? And that's where Balramji was born in Vrindavan. And then Krishna, as soon as he was born, he was taken to Vrindavan, and then the little baby girl from Vrindavan was brought back to the to Kamsa, right? So these Krishna and Balramji are here, but the 6 sons Kamsa had killed, and we discussed about that, right? Actually, Kamsa in his previous life was Kalanemi, right? And these were actually his own sons that he was killing. And so there's a story behind these 6 sons.
Prabhuji, I think we have discussed this story.
Yes,
Kamsa's father cursed all his sons to be killed by Kamsa in the next.
Yes.
In the next incarnation.
Yeah. So Kalanemi is Hiranyaksha's son. But the point here is these 6 were actually demigods. So they were in the heavenly planets, and while they were there, they were making fun of Brahmaji. So Brahma is the Gunavatar, right? He is in Rajogun, and he is the secondary creator of the whole world. So they were making fun of
Prabhuji, was Brahma in Rajogun?
Yeah,
Why
he's
was
the god of,
Sattvic Gun?
he's the god of Rajogun, and Lord Shiva is the lord of Tamogun. So and Lord Vishnu is the lord of Sattvagun. So that's why they are called Guna avatars. Okay, so then when Brahmaji created the whole universe, he created the 5 elements, and from the 5 elements are all the bodies coming, right? So then Mother Saraswati was also kind of came from his creation, and so since he was going to marry Mother Saraswati, these 6 demigods were making fun of him. Hey, you are marrying your own daughter. How can you do that? That's so bad. And when they said that, Brahmaji actually cursed them that you will be born as in the family of Hiranyakashipu. And that's how they became like sons of Kalanemi, and then after that they became sons of Devaki, the 6 sons who were killed by Kamsa by throwing to the wall. So these sons, after they were killed by Kamsa, their soul had now they had gone to Sutala Loka. And who knows who's in Sutala Loka at that time? It is Bali Maharaj. So Mahabali or Bali Maharaj, he was sent to Sutala Loka by Vamana Dev, right? That's another story.
Prabhuji, was Sutala Loka also called Patala Loka?
Yeah, so Patala Loka, Sutala Loka, Attala, Vittala, Sutala, there are 7 planetary systems. So actually Bali Maharaj is in Sutala Loka. Patala is one Loka even lower than Sutala Loka. Okay. But yes, in some references they say he was sent to Patal, but actually Bali Maharaj is ruling the Sutala Loka, and he'll be the next Indra in the next Manvantara actually. So anyways, let's not digress. So this story about Bali Maharaj in Sutala Loka, he was sent to Sutala Loka after this pastime, and he is the greatest devotee of the Lord, and he exemplifies surrender to the Lord because he gave his own head for the Lord to put the feet on. So he was in Sutala Loka, and actually these 6 sons were in Sutala Loka. So Krishna and Balramji went to Sutala Loka, and they told Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was very happy to see Krishna and Balram because he's a great devotee, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm a Asura Raj, and you have come to see me. I'm so happy." And he praises the Lord, and then the Lord says, "I need to take the 6 sons back, my brothers, my 6 brothers. I have to take them back." So then Bali Maharaj shows them, and actually they are brought back to Mother Devaki. And Mother Devaki, as soon as he saw the 6 sons who she couldn't even feed at that time, from her breast milk started flowing because she, with motherly affection, seeing her 6 kids who she had lost, and all of them came, and then they drank the milk from their mother, and as soon as they drank the same, Krishna had also, before he went to Vrindavan, taken to Vrindavan, he had drunk milk from his mother's breast. So that since it was so pure, since Krishna had drunk milk from Mother Devaki's breast, all of the other 6 sons who drank the milk became purified, and all their sins went away, and then they went back to the heavenly planets as demigods. So Devaki was very happy that her sons were restored by Krishna. Okay, so there ends today's class, and we are ready for the Kahoot. Anybody has any questions? I see Dhruv has joined. Welcome, Dhruv. Okay.
Joined hours.
Okay, let's go ahead and play the Kahoot then. Play. So I'm going to remove these. Okay, the pin is coming up. 829 6627. 829 6627. So LOL is in, Megalodon is in, Radha Chaitra ji is in.
Prabhuji, please wait a minute. I'm just going.
Yes. So if you have never played it before, just go to this website www.kahoot.it on another device. So on whatever device you are watching, you have to continue to watch, but on another device you have to open this kahoot.it.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm doing Kahoot from long time.
Yes. We have a new member who joined today, right? So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, Ishwar ji, Radha ji.
Wait, just wait for.
Yes, Dhruv, we cannot go without you. Please.
Prabhuji, I think there are 6 participants and 6 in the Kahoot too.
Okay. I think there are multiple devotees joining from Ishwar side. So there's Nebula.
Prabhuji, can you please wait? My sister is also joining. Can you please
Okay,
wait for that?
sure. Yes. So most of you are going to have your final exams in India, right? So all of you, very good luck.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm
Yes,
having my
Prabhuji,
exams on 9th March. I'm seeking your blessings, Prabhuji.
Oh,
Prabhuji, my exams are started and 3 exams are over.
very good, Tarunji. I'm
And I
thinking,
got full marks in all those exams.
of course, you're a wonderful devotee and a wonderful student.
I
So
wonder how old.
Prabhuji, my friend wants to say something.
Prabhuji, please bless me that I
also
can
have exams on the 7th.
okay, good luck to you.
Seeking your blessings.
Yeah, we are all praying for all of your good success. Because
Thank
when
you,
you bring Krishna into your life, everything will be successful. Okay. So is everybody able to get into the Kahoot now?
Prabhuji, your screen is not. Yes, Prabhuji.
Is Dhruv in? Is Dhruv rock?
No, Prabhuji, it's Meenakshi who is entered as rock.
Okay. Okay. Are you in, Dhruv?
I think Dhruv is Nebula.
Okay, then let's go ahead and start. Okay, first question. Who asked Krishna's wife to narrate the pastime of Krishna marrying them? Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, Gandhari. Yes, it's Draupadi. Okay, Radha Chaitraji first place, Nebula second place, Megalodon third, Radha G and LOLG. LOL. Okay. What was the name of the representative of the 16,100 wives who narrated their marriage to Draupadi? They were telling. So is it Mitravinda, Satya, Kalandi, Rohini? Try to eliminate and find out if you don't remember that name. Yes. Mitravinda, Satya and Kalandi are all wives of Krishna. This like the principal wives. They are not part of the 16,100 wives that he had to marry because he rescued them from Baumasura. Okay. True or false? Krishna said it is very important to worship the devotees of the Lord before following rituals. True or false? Yes. So Krishna, when he saw the sages, he said, we should worship you first because you are wonderful devotees of the Lord. Okay, Megalodon is on fire. Very good. Ishwarji, Tarunji, all on the board. Okay, how many wives did Vasudeva have? So his principal wife is Devaki, but how many wives total? 18. Good job.
Prabhuji, can you please explain this pastime once again? I think I didn't hear this pastime.
Yeah, so Vasudeva was having to do a fire sacrifice, right? So he was dressed in deer skin, and then his wives, 18 wives, also were coming and helping in the sacrifice, and they were dressed in royal clothes. So we just mentioned that for describing the fire sacrifice of Vasudeva. Okay. Tarunji is in second place. Radha Chaitraji, Radha and Ishwarji. True or false? Vasudeva praised Nanda Maharaj after the sacrifice in Kurukshetra. True or false? So Nanda Maharaj is his friend, and he was all praises for him because he took care of Krishna and Balram when they were little. Okay, Vrajavasi stayed in Kurukshetra with the inhabitants of Dwaraka for how long? 3 days, 3 years, 3 months, 1 year.
I know. I was clicking him then.
So fast. Okay, 3 months, that's right. Okay, we have Megalodon, Tarun, Radhaji, Radha Chaitraji, and Ishwarji on the board. True or false? Vasudeva established Krishna and Balram as the Supreme Lord in the assembly in Dwaraka after return from Kurukshetra. True or false? Krishna and Balram are sons of Vasudeva. Yes, he did that. And when that happened, another thing happened. What was the request that Devaki had for Krishna and Balram? Leave Dwaraka, go to Vrindavan, return her 6 dead sons, go on a pilgrimage. Yes, return her 6 dead sons. Okay, Tarunji is on fire and in first place. Hari Bol. Then Radha Chaitraji, Megalodon, Radha Chaitraji, and Ishwar. Okay, where did Krishna and Balram go in search of their 6 dead brothers? Indraloka, Sutalaloka, Satyaloka, Patalaloka. Yes, Sutalaloka. Okay, who received Krishna and Balram in Sutalaloka and returned their 6 brothers? Bali, Kalanemi, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa. Yes, Bali Maharaj. Kamsa was the one who killed the 6 sons of Devaki. Okay. So we have Tarun Ji first place, Radha Chaitra Ji, Ishwar Ji, and Megalodon. Okay, the 6 sons of Devaki were demigods cursed by whom? Shiva, Narada, Brahma, Vishnu. Yes, when they made fun of Brahma. Okay, let's see who is on the podium. Third place goes to Radha Chaitra Ji. Hooray! Second place goes to Radha. And first place goes to Tarun Ji. Hari Bol. And fourth place goes to Ishwar Ji. Fifth place goes to Megalodon. And everybody else who played are winners today. So,
Who do you think I was?
you were Radha?
Mm-mm.
And you are
Just kidding. I was Radha.
Okay. Tarun Ji, Radha Ji, Radha Chaitra Ji, all of you did really well. So, congratulations. If you want to draw anything on the screen, go ahead. Now is your time. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for taking your time to join and learn about
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And guess what? We are at almost at the end of this very, very big book.
Guys, don't go too far on this.
So here,
Okay.
look at this book. This book we are completing. This Krishna book. We just have 4 more chapters left. We have finished 85 chapters. Can you imagine that?
Prabhuji,
we have
it's a
done
big
this?
achievement.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have done this in so many classes. So if you think that you can read this in a day, it's not possible. But if you do little by little every day, you can even read the biggest fattest book there, right? So by page we learn about Krishna. Very good.
Krishna.
Congrats.
Hare
all
Krishna,
of you.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Pat on your back to everyone. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Bye,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Dandat Pranam. वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Okay, bye-bye everybody. See you next class.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Tarun ji.